Isaiah saw Jesus' glory. Literal equivalence versus dynamic equivalence. English translations of the Bible fall into three major categories. 1. Paraphrase, in which there is no attempt at word-for-word translation, but rather at idea-for-idea translation, as the translator understands the ideas. 2. Literal equivalence, which translates word for word, merely adjusting the grammatical structure to be more understandable to English-speaking readers. 3. Dynamic equivalence, in which the translator is at liberty to substitute his own words for the originals when he believes such substitutions help to clarify their meaning. Almost all English versions which render the original his glory of John 12:41 as Jesus' glory are dynamic equivalence translations. They do so because, in their opinion, Isaiah saw a vision of Jesus, although no such idea is presented anywhere in Isaiah 2 or John 12. Circular argumentation, using the assumption to prove the conclusion. The problem is that Trinitarianism cites this dynamic equivalence translation itself based upon the unsubstantiated and counterintuitive assumption that this is what John meant as proof that Isaiah saw Jesus' glory. In other words, the assumption that this is what Isaiah saw becomes the proof that this is what Isaiah saw. In formal logic, this is known as circular argumentation. This is akin to assuming that the moon is made of green cheese, then stating that the moon is made of green cheese, and then citing the statement as proof that the moon is made of green cheese. This does not mean that the moon is actually made of green cheese. When John says that Isaiah, quote, saw his glory, it is a reference to Jehovah's glory, Isaiah 6:3, not Jesus' glory. The word glory, the Greek word dioxan, D-I-O-X-A-N, Strong's Greek number 1391, is used biblically to describe the manifestation of God's presence as perceived by humans. Quote, the invisible qualities, character, or attributes of God displayed in a visible or knowable way. Apply godsword.com. Quote, the external manifestation of God's being that appears, Exodus 16:10, is revealed, Isaiah 45, or can be seen, Numbers 14:22, BibleStudyTools.com. The glory which Isaiah is said by John to have seen is a display of Jehovah's magnificence, qualities, character, and attributes as revealed in a visible way. Nothing in Isaiah 6 even remotely suggests that this was Jesus' glory. Summary. So, what have we learned here? I always wanted to say that. Isaiah saw Jehovah on the throne, Isaiah 6:1. According to Trinitarianism, Jehovah is three persons, so in seeing Jehovah, Isaiah should have seen all three persons, not just the Son. John cites two different chapters of Isaiah, only one of which contains any reference to Jehovah's glory, and in that instance, Isaiah does not say that he saw God's glory, but only that angels proclaimed it. In one of the chapters quoted by John, Isaiah 53, Isaiah repeatedly distinguishes between God and the Messiah he will send. The person whose glory Isaiah is said to have seen in Isaiah 6 is frequently identified therein as Jehovah, not as his Son or as the Messiah to come. While many versions transliterate John's words as Jesus' glory, the Greek is his glory, with no indication from context that John is speaking of Jesus here. Trinitarianism, in essence, states its own unfounded assumption as its conclusion. Conclusion. Nothing in John 12:41 suggests that Jesus is God, nor does anything in the verses cited by John say that Isaiah saw God's glory. The idea that Isaiah saw Jesus' glory is a lie, foisted by Trinitarianism upon the unsuspecting to prove that Jesus is God.